Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here today. We're going to take a quick look at Gala, and just before we do, we'll take a quick peek at Bitcoin and see what's going on. Now, Bitcoin did effectively close over 58,000, and I mentioned that needed to happen in order for us to get that confidence in moving forward. So that did happen, of course. It doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. We still need to breach and break 60,000 to start making higher highs and higher lows on the larger time frame. If you look at the 1 hour chart, we are tentatively making higher highs and higher lows, so that's a start. But we're not done yet. We've still got a lot of room to cover because based on the 4 hour chart and even the 1 day chart, we're well below some important moving averages. All right, so just keep in mind that, and I always recommend just continue to dollar cost average if possible into Bitcoin and Ethereum while the price is still affordable. It might come a little bit lower, but don't put your entire bag in just yet. I'd recommend just kind of working your way into it. A good investor will add small portions at a time, and that's what I recommend. Now, moving on here to Gala, just before we look at this, I want you to know I'm not a financial advisor, right? So if you're new to the channel, I've been trading for over 15 years. My goal is to help you become a better trader. I have a trading community designed for that specific purpose, so definitely check that out. That is CryptoCache Premium. And for lack of better terms, I basically send out signals for every single trade that I take, so you can one-click follow through our trading bot if you'd like. But just overall, get the feel for what it's like to be, a professional trader that trades every single day. Been doing this for a very long time. I'm thankful to have you along. Thank you so much for joining me here. So taking a look here at the 4 hour chart, we're going to go to the 1 day chart first and work our way down. So to quickly note, we see this doji candle here, right? So the price tried to increase, came all the way down, up and down, and look at that. It basically closed right in the center of where it had started, right? So that was a pretty difficult day yesterday, of course, because it had to retrace. But as I mentioned in my previous videos, hey, it's consolidating nicely. We are looking at still making higher highs and higher lows in the shorter time frame. Yes, it's a little bit choppy, but overall, we're looking at a good momentum. I think it will likely break its high. And what do you know? We're up here and breaking its high presently. Now, granted, this 1 day candlestick hasn't closed yet, so we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves just yet, but it looks like it has a lot more momentum, a lot more push than it did before. And going into a weekend, I think there's more likelihood for the price to continue up on the weekend because people just got paid here today on Friday, right? And there's a strong likelihood of the fact that weekends are they're traditionally greener than weekdays based on the fact that the whales are taking their time off. They're not, they're not taking profits for lack of better terms. They'll do that on Monday. Don't get wrong. You'll see a difference on Monday, but tomorrow, Sunday, it might be a much different story here. And I feel like we're going to see that here from Gala. Here's something to note. We're well above 70 on the RSI. On the 1 day chart, most people would say, oh, that's overbought. Not a good entry. Not entirely true. Granted, the price does look to be overbought right now, just in the general sense of how large that candlestick is. We'll look at smaller time frames to identify how healthy that is, but generally speaking, it's not a concern when you see RSI up over 70 on the 1 day chart. It stays up there for a very long time if you have a good momentous bull run, which this is having, right? Because only 2 days ago when I first covered this, I believe the price was somewhere in the range of 17 cents, and now it's literally almost double. Okay, so it's definitely doing very well, and I think we need to recognize that. So let's take a look here. So looking at the 4 hour chart, we can go ahead and see we got both moving averages trailing behind. That's pretty standard for this scenario. The price is peaking up over 70 right now. So that, in a sense, is considered to be overbought. Because again, the smaller time frames, RSI moves faster, and so does the price. Therefore, you need to respect that essentially. And I think the 4 hour RSI really helps you understand more specifically what is considered to be oversold and overbought, because it's a faster moving time frame that's much better than 1 day, but it's not so quick like the 1 hour, for example. It's a healthy medium. So honestly, the RSI and the MACD should be the two primary tools that you use on the 4 hour chart, minus the moving averages, the simple moving averages, based on the sheer fact that they give us the most data. So the price just barely breaching 70. That means we have plenty of room for growth. And traditionally what happens is what you want to do, and you can watch my RSI video for this, is you wait for the RSI to come back down in order to consider, securing profits or trimming your position. Because if you sell when the RSI just breaks 70 barely, yes, it's considered oversold, but it hasn't had a time, a chance to really mature, if that makes any sense. So there's a strong chance, based on that sentiment alone, that the price will continue to increase. It may retrace a little bit to effectively bounce off of 27.6 cents, and then it'll likely continue, because that was a previous resistance. That was basically the top of Fibonacci retracement when I drew this chart right back here. Okay, so this little guy right there, that was the highest point, and it's obviously continued to all the other, resistance levels within Fibonacci. And you can see some pretty strong support levels forming and a pretty strong resistance level there for the last 12 to 24 hours, and it just broke out here. And that, again, is based on Bitcoin confidence. People seeing Bitcoin increasing in price, they're going to start investing in coins like this because of the sheer fact that these are reliant on it, right? That's not the only reason. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of fundamentals, a lot of things we can't see here on the chart. But based on technical analysis only, those are things I like to extract and kind of understand just based on the sheer fact that, Bitcoin has a lot to do with, the momentum, if that makes any sense. So this little lull here was, Bitcoin trying to figure itself out. And now that it has, Gala feels more confident, right? There's less fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market, and altcoins are starting to increase. Okay, so again, just try to think about that when looking at some coins. Not all coins respond the same, but this one is definitely doing something along those lines. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Ishimoku cloud real quick. We can see how the price broke into the cloud and essentially worked as a support level here, right? So that's really nice and healthy. That's pretty standard for support for the cloud when the price breaks above. Furthermore, too, you can see that the price came down here to test this support level here at about 20 cents. That's reaffirming the fact that that's a nice, strong support level. And then, of course, you see it kind of leg up, higher highs and higher lows, and now it essentially broke out. So all good things here. I see nothing that's bearish for Gala except for the fact that it is slightly overextended. Again, not entirely, but slightly overextended in the sense where it might, and what I'm hoping for is the price to calm down, retrace, and consolidate just above 27.6 cents. And then what that'll do is that'll help reaffirm that previous all-time high as a current support level, right? Because previous all-time highs are very, very strong support levels once they're broken and effectively consolidated just above. Most coins do this. They have a tendency of testing the all-time high 2 or 3 times, which we saw here, once, twice, third time's kind of like a reverse cup and handle. And then the price comes up and it commonly comes down and consolidates right around the previous resistance, current support, and then it takes off. So we should have enough time to likely be able to add to our position before it ramps up again. And I can confidently say that Gala's probably going to take off here in the very near future. It has all the signs and all the markings of that, right? So what we're gonna go ahead and we're basically gonna draw out Fibonacci retracement lines again, based on this new metric. Just sheer fact of the matter is that we already broke through that previous trend. We got to reestablish a new trend and see what the new potential is here for this coin. Now keep in mind this, we'll need to take another look at this tomorrow just to reaffirm and make sure that it's 100%. But we can kind of see here that there's good potential for Gala to get upwards of about 40 cents within the next, and again, this is a very, very liberal estimate. Within the next 2 days, we could see that happen. Now, I'm not trying to say that that's going to happen because I'm always traditionally more conservative. I'd much rather shoot low and things hit high, or shoot for the moon, aim and land in the stars. I don't know. Whatever the case is, I prefer to be conservative, right? So I don't like to, I don't like the trumpets. I don't like the loud noises in telling you that this is going to go to the moon. I want to be straightforward with you. It could go to 40 cents in the next couple of days. Will it? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say. It has enough momentum to do that. Its history has proven that it can. But traditionally speaking, we have a lot of room for I wouldn't say growth, but we have some things we need to overcome, right? So obviously we got to break the all-time high, which is currently being established right now, okay? Furthermore, we also want to make sure the price comes down and bounces off the previous all-time high close, right? Which essentially is, again, right here at the range of about 27.6 cents. So 27.6 would be an awesome place for the price to kind of level out and then ramp back up. It's okay if it continues on right now. We just need to note that if it does, it being overextended on this short amount of time, because you think about it, 4 hours, what is that? That's 30%. Yeah, pretty much almost exactly 30% in a 4-hour time frame or less. That's a lot of movement, right? We need to have that consolidation, that time, that chance to breathe, okay? Because I'm a firm believer in coins that have a tendency of, having healthy bull runs. They do a lot better long-term. Like BNB a few months ago, we saw it take off from 250 to 600, and nobody saw it coming because it increased 10 to 15% per day for a straight 2 weeks in a row. Now, what we want to do is see that here, right? So let's take a quick look at the 1-hour chart and identify that. Now, if you look at this is a healthy consolidation pattern, right? So the fact that it's ramping up right now is not a problem. However, if it goes up too far, we're going to be outside that standard deviation, and it's going to go ahead and come crashing back down. So what could happen, and ideally, we see the price come here, and then it decides to ramp up and have that extra oomph, that extra, it's pit stopping right now, right? It needs to get some gas in the tank before it takes off. Because if we look at the standard deviation here, you look at the volume weight average price, it's hard to kind of see, but it is very much on the overextended side. You can see the line kind of going above here. Let's look at the 15. and you'll kind of see this a little better. You can see it's trying to break out. Every time it comes up, it comes back down, and it's holding within these lines. So the standard deviation lines are helpful to help us understand that it's trying to break too far outside of its volume weighted average price, and that time frame essentially restricts it from going much higher. So I guess to make it really simple, just to not try to overcomplicate things here, it's going to be nice if the price goes sideways and or retraces right now. That'd be healthy, because if we take a look at TD sequential, we can see even though we got this slight reset right here, we hit a 9 and then we're back up to a 6 again. So the likelihood of it going all the way to a 9 again is, I would say, lower now that we've already had that. It didn't have enough time to consolidate, and I think it would be nice to see it consolidate a little further before the next breakout. Again, we don't always get what we want, but just saying in general, if you see it just take straight off right now, you can expect it to come down at least, halfway or 40-50% of the way that it originally started. Okay. All right. Enough rambling about that. I know I'm kind of going in circles, but I just like to kind of drive that home so you understand that this is absolutely very healthy movement. This has a good continuation patterns. I wouldn't be surprised if it continues upwards, but also it would be better if it comes down just a little bit, so we can not only get better value, but also reaffirm that support level from the previous resistance at 27.6. And then we see the next leg up to the upside, right? That's what we're hoping for. That's what we want to see. But again, 2-day time frame, we could very well see 40 cents. That is likely based on its momentum leading into the weekend, and weekends are strong bullish time frames for altcoins, just in general, based on the sheer fact that everything was on sale recently, right? People are trying to FOMO in, for lack of better terms, and this is a FOMO coin right now, right? Very high social sentiment, and you want to check that out in your own time. Lunarcrush.com is a very, very good website for that, and you probably identify the Gala's at the top of the charts, or at least near the top. All right, so all's well there. So I hope you found benefit here. Of course, we'll take another look at it tomorrow, likely when I return in the morning, and we'll go ahead and see what's going on here. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get some consolidation followed by an increase. This has more likelihood of going up than it does down right now. Okay. And again, 40 cents would be a best case scenario in the next couple of days, but I'd like to comfortably say maybe a week or two by month end for that, just so we can get that healthy increase. Thanks again for joining me. If you're not currently a patron, please consider checking that out. Rates are increasing next month. I have a trading community that is an amazing experience. You get to grow and learn together, and it's just awesome to be able to get to know those patrons. And everyone, I have like almost 200 plus members now, and it's amazing. Awesome, great thing. I actually share signals for every single trade that I take too. So if you're interested in kind of seeing what a trader that trades every single day in crypto is doing, I have all my profit targets. I have all my stop losses in place, and there's just a really awesome experience. So can't be happier about it, right? So thanks again to everyone that's making that a reality for me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Thank you so much.